Welcome back to Coast Vue. As we mentioned at the beginning of the show and toward the end of last segment, we don't have Wi-Fi in the studio here, so we're literally using cellular technology outside now. It's a beautiful day, thank goodness, so we were able to take advantage of that. But had a great conversation just then with Stuart Speed. He and a list of partners are going to make a substantial $50 million plus investment in downtown Gulfport. But what's important about that project is that it is the continuation of a number of projects similar to it. Maybe not at exactly that scale, but the kind of mixed-use developments that are happening all over the coast of Mississippi in places like Biloxi, for example, increasing density downtown in downtown Biloxi. In this particular case that we're about to talk about now, it's important because the new economy. We want to take advantage of the new economy. One of the things I like having the opportunity to do is to talk in between segments. We had a chance with FoFo Gilich, the mayor of Biloxi, and Stuart Speed to chat just a little bit. And, you know, the mayor gets that positive development in any city is good for all of us, that this rising tide will lift all communities. And we're lucky that we've got a collection of mayors that believe in that. So without any further ado, let me bring my friend, Mayor FoFo Gilich, into the conversation. And first of all, just say good morning to you, my friend.
Good morning, Ricky. Always great to be with you, man.
But it's true.
Oh, it's true. Right.
You totally get, you know, you're going to be Biloxi first every chance you get. But you get that a rising tide lifts all boats, don't you?
When you look at the big picture, the strategy, you know, it's the truth. I mean, you know, and some of these folks sit back on some of these committees and legislators say, we're in the trenches down here. I know day by day, you know, like the war in Ukraine, it changes, you know, minute by minute. And I'm here. My testimony is to that fact. I mean, you know, vision and reality, two different animals. And you know, you have to have a vision, but you got to work with the art of reality. So I think it said that about Dwight Eisenhower. He had a vision for the future, but he mastered the art of reality. We're in reality, reality, and it changes day by day by day by day.
We do find ourselves in an interesting place, though, as you heard us discuss, as you know well, because you see it every day. The number of investors who want to invest in coastal Mississippi doesn't go down; it goes up, even in a moment when we have recessionary threats and we have inflation and the price of fuel and all these things. But coastal Mississippi is the most affordable beach community in the U.S., and as a result of that, we're getting a lot of interest from folks all over this country. And so it's interesting that even with all the pressures and all the threats that maybe the economy slowing down poses on us, we still have a tremendous opportunity to take advantage of the future, don't we?
No question. I'm telling you, in some things like, you know, in 17 and 18, this opportunity zone has resurfaced. And these people who've got, you know, now dollars that have consequences, you know, with regard to stock market. And these are millions of dollars. Not a question, you know, it's all about, you know, what's your goal? You know, goal is to, you know, to invest and make things happen. That's even surfaced. You know, that's spiked up. And I see it every day. So, you know, if you made $10, $15 million in the stock market, well, you owe 20-something% of that capital gains. And if you want to put that money in an opportunity zone, here it is. So, you know, it's, you know, I won't say it's high finance, but it's, you know, it's arithmetic. You can do something or you cannot do something. If you do nothing, then it's going to cost you. So we're fortunate, you know, along here. We got all the factors. Like I said, we can pitch with anybody. Go just compare taxes, compare cost of living, you know, even, you know, there's a lot of controversy on the state income tax. But let me tell you that even knocking that down 1%, in 5 years, it may be going, that's a big deal. You know, you look at Tennessee. What do you think built Nashville 8 years ago? Why all the corporate entertainment from Hollywood now in Nashville? You know, you got to have a little, like I said, vision for the future. But reality is reality. And I've already, you know, used that. And even though it's, you know, knocked from 5 to 1, that's a big deal. So next year, you know, they can, those folks that are serious players, not, hey, I'm going to try and do something. The serious players know the deal.
Yeah, they really do. If you do best practice analysis, which we've all had the opportunity to read about and see, the Coast Business Council even did a plan around it. If you look at what's happening in places like Nashville, you mentioned that Chattanooga.
Chattanooga, yeah, right, exactly.
I mean, they've increased density downtown. They brought people that are part of this new economy downtown and create a more vibrant downtown. You know, Biloxi went through a stage where it lost its vibrancy downtown.
Yeah.
And it's all starting to come back now. And that's not just magic. It's happening because there's a plan to bring it back, to make Biloxi competitive with some of these markets that have done extraordinarily well. And it's happening, isn't it?
It really is. You know, as far as repopulation of our peninsula, you know, just looking on Howard Avenue, some of those things. You know, I've seen when a community or somebody tries to copy something and it's not original, not authentic, it can't win. Yeah, we tried to, in the 70s, do the urban renewal thing and compete with malls. Look what happened. You know, 4 years ago, we tore up, we got rid of all those remnants and put bricks back on, you know, like it was in the 40s. And here we are. And the results of, you know, the Sanger Theater, some of those things, people get really excited. I was in with some investors yesterday. And they said, man, I can't believe this is the same people that you have in, you know, Mobile. They, you know, so, you know, that's a real deal. You know, there's some, you hear noise about, you know, it's not cost effective. It is cost effective when you look at the whole picture. That's a thing that is an attraction. That's a gravity, just like Ground Zero, right? You know, people come explore that, just, you know, and live downtown. The old Wells Fargo Bank, that's going into a boutique hotel. And then Josette's right. There's I think 19 or 20 units, apartments, and then retail on the bottom, some restaurants moving around. It's a really cool deal, you know, and it's just getting, you know, it's getting ramped up. So it's exciting times.
It is exciting times. So, Mayor, as you look about 6 months, what's your biggest concerns? Because, I mean, obviously everyone's concerned about inflation and the price of gas and all of that. What keeps you up at night thinking about the next 6 months?
Oh, if I sleep okay, you know, but, you know, because my energy is every day. Right now, we're in the middle of, you know, things day by day. But, you know, you kind of say, okay, you do a game plan, if you will, critical path. But, you know, I monitor things like, you know, our visitation and our sales tax kind of go by. Of course, gaming revenue, that's a big indicator. But it really sort of does not follow the trail that you would think. Of course, you know, we're on another record track, I think. But that, you know, I'm not counting on it. You know, we do our budgetary and we manage our finances based on what our projection is. Our projections are very good, and even, you know, more. We just had a record month in March, you know, in history. Okay, prior to that, it was the April before that, in the middle of the pandemic, as far as gross gaming revenue. So we're on track, and you know, knock on wood, and you know, say a little prayer. But you know, I'm confident. You know, Biloxi's been around 323 years, and because it knows how to, you know, take care of business. You know, you could just look at, you know, the path of Biloxi and the path of that, you know, the passion we have, you know, around here. And I think it's effective. You know, people who do business here understand, hey, this is a, you know, real unique place, and just keep it unique, and I think we'll do fine.
Well, you know, Mayor, what's interesting about March being a record is the fact that when you guys had a string of consecutive record months last year, people said, well, you got a lot of federal money and, you know, people being incented to stay home. And you kept saying, what difference does that make? The reality is we're competing against other markets all over the United States, and we're doing well.
Exactly.
You know? Exactly.
I'm talking about record for me, for Biloxi, 8 casinos. Now, when 92, when I don't mean to go off on, you know, on a soapbox, but I am on a soapbox. So 21, we had $1 billion of gross gaming revenue. Okay, we're on track for good, you know, for another one. But guess what? There are 39 or so gaming markets in the country. Okay, we got 8 casinos. We're number 5 in the country. This is not per capita or this is dollars. Okay, and the one that's in front of us is the combination of all the casinos in Illinois and Indiana. That's our next target. They were about $1.2 billion. Okay, so we're not very far, but we're just 8. You know, the business opportunities there, and that's the reason, you know, why we've done that. I mean, it's extraordinary, and you know, it's a lot of corporate situation. It's a lot of, you know, bottom line considerations, but you know, It is what it is, and we'll handle it one way or the other. So we're very fortunate.
But Biloxi's lucky to have companies that it has to begin with, that the leadership at the casinos that it has, the focus that it has, and you think about how they work together. They're certainly competitive with one another, but they're able to come together on issues that are important. And their track record is beginning to speak for itself. I'm sure within each of their corporations, they stick out as best practices because of how well they're doing in this moment, in this very challenging moment. When we come back, we're going to continue our conversation with Mayor FoFo Gilich of Biloxi. We'll see you after this break. Welcome back to Coast Vue. Look, I'm on cellular service, using my phone to do the show today. We have a Wi-Fi issue at the studio here, so we're making the best of it, as Kyle and I always do. We turn on the dime and we deal with it, what we got, and we get on with the show. I'm having a terrific conversation with Mayor FoFo Gilich, and what I mentioned to him during the break is that I'll enjoy spending time with him because obviously he's so enthusiastic about the city. But a lot of times mayors have to sort of put a pretty face on something that's not so good. And what I enjoy about when I spend time with you and Billy and some of the other mayors, FoFo, is that everything we're talking about is happening. Everything that we're the numbers are good under very challenging situations. I mean, for the last over 2 years, we've had to focus on very challenging situations. So it's always fun to catch up with you. Hey, listen, since the last time you and I talked, Vincent Creel, after so many years of great service to the city, has retired. And Cecilia has come on as the new head of public affairs for the city. The city's in good hands with Cecilia. And, a lot of folks, did a nice celebration of Vincent's contributions. What do you have to say about all that?
The passion is the thing, and both of them have that. Of course, Cecilia was, right there over his shoulder, and when it comes to in the trench things, it works out the way it was supposed to work out. So it's a natural, a progression, and we're trying to add, get some serious, that passionate kind of person to help us, keep the Biloxi story going. And you think about Vincent and of course B News and some of the things we did. That's where we talked a little bit about remote. Y'all need to come and see our Studio B, which would be cool. I mean, we got the whole thing, and we can do a little segment. We'll do our little Johnny Carson show from there. Okay, but that's Vincent, and some of his thoughts and ideas, and we always we always so eye to eye. That's not really the truth, but we both had an understanding of what we believe needed to be done, needed to be said, and of course he had a way of getting to the point and helping me and helping the city paint the story. Not paint the story, it doesn't need to be painted. Take the picture, and I think that's what's good. And he'll be missed. But, he didn't move out of town. I know where he is anyhow. So
well, what I always enjoyed about Vincent, of course, we worked together at the Sun Herald, was the fact that he'd been there so long. He was a terrific wordsmith. So he was almost as if you had this resident historian with you. Yeah. And you can still call on him, obviously. And he did a terrific job of preparing Cecilia for this job. And I know she's super passionate about the city, and she's incredibly responsive. So I think you're in good hands with Cecilia.
I know we are, yeah.
Hey, look, I've mentioned this to you before. One of my favorite things to do is to get on my bike, go across the Pops Ferry Road Bridge, go down to Highway 90, hit the boardwalk as soon as I can hit it right at Treasure Bay. And your commitment to getting that boardwalk continued over on the bay side, around the point. It's amazing that is a destination in and of itself.
I think that we've got some plans to you need to go take a look between Oak Street and they actually put the planking and that's a really cool thing too. We're getting ready to groom the beach, so what that's going to look like. The boardwalk that has the flow through, but it really is a really cool application. We've got 17,000 linear feet to do it, and that's what we're going to fill it in. Yeah. And time and money, but the first section, the first section of that knee wall and the movement of the sand, to keeping the sand on the beach and not on the highway is I think it's a pilot project. But no, it is. But we haven't really stopped construction. There are people walking on it right now. And so we're trying to keep it from.
Someone sent me a note complaining about the beach area there near Schooner Pier. I said, "Well, what are you complaining about? It's under construction. They've got, when it's done, you'll love it. They just didn't like the way it had been grown up and the way things were kind of tore up, and that'll all be cleaned up here pretty soon.
Yeah, absolutely.
People will be able to go down there and enjoy it.
And you're going to see what the whole concept is. We're going to start at Oak Street, work to the Schooner Pier. You won't see, you won't see what you think you're going to see. It's going to be 230 feet and trying to get the situation where, hey, it's a resort, and you'll see it. That whole 1 mile square, run is going to have that look and feel. So you're going to be pleased. I can tell you. Just stay tuned. Give me a week. We just cut the gate. The ribbon for the gate. We had to take care of that business. The Vision Street main gate. So we had some heavyweights in the audience. There, a couple more generals than I knew about, and colonels, and of course our gang. But that ribbon cutting was good yesterday at 9 o'clock. I think in June 15th. I think we're going to do the ribbon at the Bayview boardwalk. And we got some events planned there. It used to be a venue for boat races and all kinds of things. So that's the amphitheater, if you will. That's give me a few days, and we're going to work out some things there. But then also on that beach, that boardwalk on the beach, between Harrah's and the Small Craft Harbor, it's going to be something that you'll be proud of.
It's going to be so cool. I can't wait to ride my bike down it. Hey, what we'll do the next time we talk, we don't have time to do it today, but the next time we talk in 2 or 3 weeks, we'll come back and you can give us the latest on the extension of Potts Ferry Road Bridge, and the latest there, and so on. But it's been a pleasure to catch up with you, my friend.
My pleasure. Y'all have a great weekend. Like I said, love y'all, and anything you need from us, just don't hesitate, okay?
You've been a great partner, FoFo. This has been Mayor FoFo Gilich from the City of Biloxi. Have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you. Great weekend. Thank y'all.